One Zambia, One Nation. Thank you so much for joining us on the news desk. We are coming to you from the mass media complex in Lusaka. Let's take a look at the headlines. Zambia nods warm relations with other countries. Construction of oxygen plant in Chitambo district nears completion. And special education unit opens at Milenge Primary School. With the news in detail, my name is Amos Zulu. President Hakainde Hichalema says Zambia continues to enjoy stable bilateral relations with other countries. President Hichalema says government appreciates the long and strong bilateral relations with other countries for the country's economic development. The head of state said this at State House when he received credentials from diplomats accredited to Zambia, who include Finland, Sweden, and the United States. Join Wupe Sendwe with the details.
It was another busy day for President Hakainde Hichalema at State House today. The head of state received credentials for incoming ambassadors from Finland, Sweden, and the United States of America. In accepting the ambassadors' credentials, President Hichalema appreciated the long and strong bilateral relations that Zambia has enjoyed with foreign friends.
But you come at this time when the economy was basically run down, and the consequences, the social side suffered as well. So we're embarking on this economic reconstruction, and we would like to work with both of your countries, as we've done before. And you'll find us very, very amenable in these areas of cooperation. And because we have a heritage to carry on, the heritage of what was the relationship over the years between Zambia and Finland, Zambia and Sweden. So we will not walk any other way, but walk that path.
The head of state was delighted to have representation from the USA at their highest level after 3 years of not having an ambassador.
Like you said, it's taken long, 3 years almost, I think we must say, before we had a substantive ambassador, US ambassador to Zambia. And now that you're here, we're really happy to continue the relationship that, long relationships that the US and Zambia have had.
I appreciate the confidence President Biden and Secretary Blinken have shown in me. As you are aware, it's been nearly 3 years since the United States has had a resident ambassador in Zambia, and I'm eager to get to work. I thank you for receiving my credentials so soon upon my arrival. And I congratulate you on the clear public mandate that your administration has received and for the smooth and peaceful transition of power.
The diplomats expressed gratitude for representing their countries in Zambia.
I welcome the reforms you have introduced, in particular those aimed at strengthening democracy and human rights, such as improved freedom of the media, review of the Public Order Act, the adoption of the Children's Code Bill, and the intention to abolish the death penalty. And not least, your government's work to stamp out corruption is crucial. Your efforts are noted also internationally.
Let me assure you, Mr. President, that I will do my utmost to bring this message of Zambia's positive development to my country.
Earlier, President Hichalema swore in 3 permanent secretaries for the ministries of Energy, Commerce and Mines.
It's also important for us to indicate that your role is, or your roles are clear, very simple and clear. You come from the public sector. 3 of you, all of you come from the public sector, and you are going, Mr. Mulongoti, to commerce where you were before, and you have been recommended to go to commerce to drive the commercial and industrial agenda of this country. So it's a ministry you know. So we expect you to work like yesterday, to begin work like yesterday.
And the permanent secretaries pledged to execute their duties in line with the government's blueprint, the 8th National Development Plan. Pupa Sendo reporting for Zanis in Lusaka.
And in Northwestern Province, government has commended Kansashi Mine for the company's continued support towards improving the lives of the people in the province. Solwezi District Commissioner Tretson Mulofwa said this when the mining company handed over a newly constructed water recirculation facility at the Weybridge Clinic. Emma Zulu now reports.
Weybridge Clinic is situated about 8 kilometers from the central business district in Solwezi District and has been operating without water since 2017. Kansashi Mine, in its quest to improving lives of communities, has put up a water facility at the institution to address the challenge.
It gives me great pleasure to hand over this water facility. We believe that it's going to make a huge difference in the lives of the people around here. It must be really difficult to try and run a clinic if you're doing it with buckets of water or even no water. So I'm quite convinced this is going to make a very real and big difference to the lives of the staff here.
Government and the civic leadership say the water facility brings many benefits to the people.
The company's efforts are in line with the policy and aspirations of the government. The water recirculation facility brings many benefits to the institution as well as to the community. The availability of water will enhance good health and quality health care provision.
The staff that are managing this facility, I would urge you to guard this facility jealously, because whoever spent money for this one wouldn't be happy to find it the other day it's been vandalized.
Facility in charge Innocent Katanga thanks the mining company.
I would like to thank the mine for providing us with this facility, because from the time this clinic was opened, it has not had the running water, and it was a very big challenge.
Emma Zulu reporting for Zanis News in Solwezi District, Northwestern Province.
Thank you, Emma, for that report. And in our health news, construction works on an oxygen plant in Chitambo District in Central Province is nearing completion. The plant, once completed, will supply oxygen to Chitambo and surrounding districts. Here are the details.
During the 3 waves of the COVID-19 outbreaks, the country saw an increase in the demand for oxygen. An organization called Friends of Chitambo, who are great-grandchildren of Dr. David Livingstone, with support from the Constituency Development Fund, put up this structure.
So the time that we were faced with COVID, they thought it wise that as a community, because that time there were a lot of oxygen shortages in the country, so they thought it wise that they can donate this equipment to us. Oxygen will be able to utilize it for our inpatients, and then even other facilities within our district and the province as well will be able to benefit from it. So instead, most of the time what we do is, as a hospital, for us to access oxygen, we go to ETH. Yeah. So now, with this thing within us, I think it will help us cater for those gaps that we've been experiencing, especially with transport challenges. Yeah.
And Chitambo District Director of Health, Jackson Piri, says the hospital needs 5 million kwacha for rehabilitation.
This huge investment that we have received through Friends of Chitambo is quite vital. But there's one aspect which is very critical for the institution, which is the rehabilitation of the wards. They are quite in a bad state because these buildings have been here for more than 150 years. So if you look at the roofing, some of the wards, they have been eaten up by termites. So we don't want this to go to a waste. There is need for us to rehabilitate the institution.
Central Province Deputy Permanent Secretary Godfrey Tambala says government will ensure the facility is worked on.
Yes. We don't love to see that the hospital come to mitigate such kind of things, are done. Yes. So we've taken. As government, these are partnerships that we've been looking for, whereby you see the government really is about governing the people and also provision of services. health and other important amenities that we want our people to benefit from. And this actually is a mouthpiece, and I can say this that despite the fact that our doc may not know how much oxygen may be produced, but significantly I can say that we appreciate.
Kelvin Tembo for Zanis in Chitambo District, Central Province.
The news continues, and in Shuangandu, the District Health Office has launched a mini COVID-19 vaccination campaign. This follows the low number of people in the district who have so far been vaccinated against the disease. Here is Vupe Lombanya with the details.
Getting vaccinated against coronavirus pandemic in the new normal is key to win the fight against the deadly virus. And in a bid to ensure that more people are vaccinated against COVID-19, Shuangandu District Health Office has launched a mini COVID-19 vaccination campaign ahead of the national launch, which will be held on 26th September 2022, under the theme, Roll Up Your Sleeve, Fight COVID-19 and Take the Vaccine.
So looking at the population of Shuangandu, we have a total population of about 103,000, and out of that we have a target of 55,201, and so far we've managed to vaccinate about 37,000 of the total target. In terms of percentages, the coverage we are at 43%, so meaning we have a bit of a number to catch up with the 70%. In terms of vaccination, it's not coming to an end. It will be like a routine one, just like we do the childhood immunizations. So the COVID-19 vaccination will just be like any other immunization. The only difference is that this one, we are targeting the 12 years and above.
Shuangandu District Commissioner Maureen Wembia was represented by the Acting District Labour Officer Stella Muntanga at the mini launch of the COVID-19 vaccination campaign.
As a government, we have a huge responsibility to improving health service delivery to all Zambians regardless of their religion, creed, race or political affiliation. COVID pandemic poses a threat to the social, economic and well-being of our people, especially our people of Shuangandu District. As we may be aware, from the time COVID-19 was declared a pandemic, it has taken a lot of our relatives and friends.
Meanwhile, some residents of Mwabawankulungwe village, where the mini campaign was launched, have encouraged others to get vaccinated. Reporting for Zanis News, in Shuangandu District, Muchinga Province.
In other news, the Zambia Statistics Agency Interim Statistician General Mulenga Musepa has disclosed that Matero, Kanyama and Mandevu are the least enumerated constituencies. Mr. Musepa, however, indicated that the agency has put in place measures to ensure that the households in the named areas are enumerated. He disclosed this during the weekly census briefing in Lusaka.
The Zambia Statistics Agency, ZAMSTATS, has appealed to members of the public who have not yet been counted to take advantage of the mop-up period running from the 15th to the 21st September 2022 by getting enumerated. ZAMSTATS Interim Statistician General Mulenga Musepa says the agency is ready to send enumerators to areas where households have not yet been enumerated once contacted. Mr. Musepa states that the desire of the agency is to ensure that everyone is enumerated so as to enable government to plan adequately for socio-economic development.
The public to take advantage, especially that tomorrow and the other day will be a weekend, to take advantage either through phones to say that we've not been enumerated, but also talk to the neighbors to find out if they've not been enumerated, so that enumerators can be sent in those areas so that we complete and we bring this exercise to a conclusive end.
Meanwhile, ZAMSTAT says it has reinforced extra enumerators in Kanyama, Matero and Mandevu in an effort to ensure all households are enumerated. Mr. Musepa notes that the named constituencies are the least enumerated.
Mandevu and Matero. So our focus now is to turn Matero and Mandevu into green. Turn Kanyama and Mandevu into green. Turn Matero into amber and eventually green. That's what we need to focus on before the end of the mop-up.
So far, the agency has managed to record a 97% nationwide enumeration coverage. Zanis reports in Os.
We now take you to the Copperbelt province, where Zambia Alliance of Women, ZAW, has empowered over 100 women with startup capital in Luapula district. ZAW Executive Director Eda Chimia says the funds are meant to enable women venture in various economic activities. Agrippa Silumbwe reports.
Not even the age or environment could stop her from reading and write to acquire her desired skills. She is among the over 100 women who have been empowered with capacity building skills and startup capitals by Zambia Alliance of Women in Luapula district.
Pano tureva totero kwa kuti uko bati babomba ife ba women kuti twakwata development muri shine mpia ukuthi ife ba women twayapantashi na muri shine mpia ndetotera.
The alliance wants these women to be more self-reliant in life.
So our encouragement to the members that we have empowered today has been that they should be involved in accountability. They are going to invest it in the projects that they've given us that they are going to do. Government has a lot of, there are how many districts in Zambia alone, so there are so many. Our appeal is that other civil society organizations may also consider working with the people in Luapula.
Meanwhile, the program manager says determination shown by beneficiaries is inspiring.
There are quite a lot of milestones that have been scored within the project. We went into many of the project sites, 4 of the project sites where, for example, in the case of Pilala, where formalization of this group has been done by themselves.
The financial handover ceremony was punctuated with songs of jubilations. Reporting, I'm Agrippa Silumbwe, Agoj Province.
You are still watching the news with me, Amos Zulu. Now, Milenge District in Luapula Province has opened a special education unit at Milenge Primary School. Linda Mupemo reports that Town Council Chairperson Clement Mwila says the unit will enable children with special needs have access to education. Take a look.
The Department of Education in Milenge District has opened the first ever special education unit at Milenge Primary School. The unit will see children with special needs acquire education. Milenge Town Council Chairperson graced the occasion.
Special education is a form of learning provided to learners with exceptional needs such as disability or mental challenge. It is designed to help these exceptional children in making the maximum use of their capability in order to contribute to the socio-economic development of this country.
Milenge District Education Board Secretary says the move will enable special needs children attain personal development.
They are already disadvantaged, but even the system that we have, in certain cases you find that they are again disadvantaged further. And this disadvantage does not just come maybe from the system, but even from the society, even from the parents, the homes where they're coming from. The government has got systems of taking care of these children.
To parents, seeing their children in school is a dream come true.
Desanga asuminisha limbiala akasambirira nokuikala kekala bwino. Na ofofe bwino sana fie sana. Kaya pana kwata 14 years tare ya kuskulu are ikala fie kumsunga fie panganda.
Linda Mupemo, Zanis, Milenge District, Luapula Province.
The Zambia Open Community Schools has flagged off the distribution of food supplies to 28 community schools in Itezi district. The assorted food items worth over 500,000 kwacha will be distributed to all community schools in the district. Here are the details.
Good nutrition positions a child for success by not only raising their chance for survival, but also promoting cognitive development. Yet many primary school age children go hungry to school every day in rural areas like Itestezi. To address this challenge, Zambia Open Community Schools recently flagged off the distribution of assorted food items to 28 community schools in Itestezi. Itestezi Member of Parliament officiated at the handover ceremony.
I'm glad that through this partnership, Educate a Child project, ZOX is today flagging off these items to 28 community schools, also marking the beginning of a feeding program in these identified schools.
Zambia Open Community Schools Executive Director explains about the project.
Today we are flagging off food worth 523,722, procured with financial support from one of our donors, Educate a Child, based in Qatar, for distribution to our community schools here in Itestezi. ZOX embarked on a project called Community Action for Out-of-School Children way back in 2018, but for Itestezi district, we came in June this year. The aim really for us as ZOX is to complement government's efforts.
Itestezi District Commissioner also witnessed the flagging off ceremony.
Without this move, we'll see more children attending school without any worry over hunger. We pledge to continue supporting selfless efforts by organizations such as ZOX.
Meanwhile, the beneficiaries have praised Zambia Open Community Schools for the gesture.
We thank the Honorable Member Parliament for facilitating this exercise.
Frederick Mwansa, Zanis, Itestezi, Southern Province.
Central Province Minister Credo Nanjua says government will purchase 1,000 school desks using the Constituency Development Fund in Mumbwa District. The minister was speaking during the handover of an electric pot worth 70,000 kwacha to Nambala Secondary School.
Central Province Minister Credo Nanjua has fulfilled the pledge he made on 24th July by donating an electric pot to Nambala Secondary School in Mumbwa District. Mr. Nanjua said he is hopeful that the electric pot will positively help in preparing meals on time.
You are still in the Stone Age time. And you have been very destructive to the environment by cutting down trees, which we are saying no, isn't it? Yes. So we need to improve. Why we are doing this? The time that you have been spending to prepare your meals on firewood, we need to dwell with that, isn't it? Yes. So we have brought you an electric pot that I promised that I'm going to donate, and I have brought it.
And Mumbwa District Standards Officer David Hichalema is grateful of this gesture.
This property, we are so grateful, and it will go a long way. For our school management and our pupils, let's all be on guard over this property and any other school property. This thing costs a lot of resources, and our honorable has sacrificed, so let's not let him down, and let's use this pot.
Meanwhile, Nambala Secondary School head girl Florence Kabwe has expressed gratitude on behalf of the school and pupils.
On behalf of the school, we would like to thank you for the many considerations you put across for us. Thank you for the electrical pot, for it will lessen the heavy load of the school in a number of ways.
This new electric pot will positively help in preparing meals for the pupils on time. Krugasiankulu, Zanis, Mumbwa.
On a sad note, a 25-year-old man of Shem village in Hakainde district of Muchinga province has committed suicide. Muchinga Province Deputy Police Commanding Officer Laki Munkondia said the victim, identified as Emon Sinkamba, hanged himself to a tree in a bush. She revealed that the deceased informed his wife that he was going to collect logs for constructing a toilet, but did not return at the expected time. Ms. Munkondia added that a search was then conducted and that the victim was later found the following morning. She said police officers who visited the scene found the body still hanging and that no foul play was suspected. Ms. Munkondia further pointed out that the motive of the suicide is unknown. Stakeholders in Luapula, Northern and Muchinga provinces have supported the establishment of the Luapula River Authority. This came to light during the just-ended two-day Congo Basin Sub-National Stakeholders Consultative Meeting in Mansa.
The Luapula Chiefs Council has observed that the establishment of the Luapula River Authority will, among other things, help reduce poverty in the chiefdoms. Chief Kashiba of the Lunda people in Mwense district, who represented the Luapula Chiefs Council at the just-ended Congo Basin Sub-National Stakeholders Consultative Meeting in Mansa district, pledged to work closely with all the stakeholders involved in actualizing the establishment of the Luapula River Authority.
When the progressive ideas are coming in our province, more especially the idea of forming a Luapula River Authority, we have to welcome, more especially as traditional leaders. We know that there are some efforts that have been made, more especially to improve the living standard of our people. But most of the projects that has come, we have complained that the development has not trickled down to the rural part of our province.
Ministry of Water Development and Sanitation Assistant Director, Dr. Ngosa Pamba, underscored the importance of traditional leaders' involvement in the establishment of the Luapula River Authority.
For us, I think it's a plus, because he was able to point out the issues that when it comes to the development index, Luapula is at the bottom. Why? Because the opportunities are locked up, because we are not using the water fully. Why? Because much of it is running along the boundary. But with the cooperation, that potential in terms of the benefits, then that will be unlocked.
And Muchinga Province Deputy Permanent Secretary Lewis Mwape has called for more sensitizations on issues surrounding the formation of the Luapula River Authority.
It is my humble appeal to the organizing ministry to go further in pursuing this dream until it is actualized.
The establishment of the Luapula River Authority will help in the sustainable utilization of the water resource in Luapula River, which is shared between Zambia and the Democratic Republic of Congo. Chipiri Makasa, Zanis, Mansa District.
That is the end of the news, but before we go, a reminder of the headlines. Zambia nods warm relations with other countries. Construction of oxygen plant in Chitambo district nears completion. And special education unit opens at Milenge Primary School. That's all we had on the news. Remember to access these and many other stories on our website, zanis.com.zm. On behalf of the entire production team, my name is Amos Zulu. Bye for now.